Good evening, Malaysia and followers from around the world. We are privileged to have with us Dr. Eng Wei Chun, the Managing Director of award-winning Orando Holdings Sdn Bhd. Dr. Eng is one of the most fastest rising star in the property market. So he is hot property and the man to watch in Malaysia. Welcome on board, Dato'. You have been interviewed. You have been interviewed many times. Most of the media are aware of your story. You have shared with them openly. But for the benefit of my followers tonight, who may not be too familiar with your backdrop, can you share with us your first experience into business, particularly in your family business as a shop assistant to help your father? To one sec. So, Dato', share with us your fantastic story.
Not really fantastic, it's just an experience to when I helping my father, which is when I about teenager time. Okay, after school, I will go to my father hardware store and become one of the helper, carry a cement, open bill, make how to say order, and when I about 19, I will start every day flip my father the cash book or book voucher. So every day, every evening. So I calculate this is not really what I want because very hard to achieve become a millionaire. So then after school, I will decided to study quantity surveyor to enter the construction industry. Because of this father environment, I feel this contractor during that time, contractor drive a lot of luxury car. So I thought construction is one of the way to making good money during the time.
I see. Okay. So construction or rather contractors was your inspiration. You want to be like them. So at what point did you say that, look, how do I enter into this market and be one of them?
Okay. You must do it something which is not many people will do or want to do. You must understand the formula which is why need you. The whole world is must understand in the commercial angle is why need you. So you must understand the whole dimension construction scenario. So when I entered to work as a contractor firm, so from there you must have how to say a strong pickup, strong fast learner to learn as most as possible for this construction knowledge in terms of the construction technology, in terms of the costing, in terms of management. Then after work, I will further study to take evening class to study business management. So I believe construction is part of the also part of the commercial. You must using a commercial angle to look at construction. So I go to study evening class for business management. So from that I combine using this construction business management, construction management, and Chinese art of war combined together, see whether practical or not.
Dato', you know, so a lot of people want to become rich, okay, but they don't have a specific goal to work towards it. They don't have a plan to become rich. They just want to become rich. So maybe they buy a car, okay, or some other things. In your case, when you saw all these contractors driving luxurious cars, then you want to become one of them. You took up night studies you work towards it. Now, as with most contractors, cash flow has always been an issue. If the developer or the principal do not pay them, then they can't pay their workers, and it goes down to the subcontractors. In your early
Yes.
years as a contractor, did you have this problem? And can you share with us how you managed to overcome this problem?
Okay, at first is, I'm not to say in beginning I want to be rich. I just scared of poor only. I scared of poor. I'm not to say I want to become rich. I also don't know in future how rich am I. I also don't know. So of course, yeah, I agree to you. I do agree to you. A lot of contractor is facing a payment issue. Okay, because under construction, cash flow is like the blood circulation, can't block anywhere. Okay, from here I learned how to be a good man or bad guy. Okay, good man I don't want to mention. I say bad guy. How to justify what is a bad guy? Bad guy for me very simple. Simple words. If you take a people set experience, apply for your happiness, that is a bad guy. So as long you don't overgearing,
Okay.
and you must prove, which is you have certain things, certain tools you can help your client, which is can't be replaced. So that is one of the way to avoid bad paymaster.
So Dato',
Because yeah.
sorry, Dato', so how was your transition from from contractor to developer? At what point you say that, hey, this one cannot, I don't want to be a contractor anymore. I need to upgrade myself and do better. I want to go into to be a property developer myself.
Actually, I'm not to say upgrade. It's a definitely different angle and different industry. Contracting and development is look like is also build house, but totally different knowledge. I can say I'm obsolete from contracting business because when I was contractor, I have taken an opportunity to sell my construction company to a public listed company. Then I service 3 years director, and then I set my own start from small property arm to survive until today.
I see. Your first project, what was it, and what were the lessons that you learned from then, and which you should remember and is applicable now? What was it then compared to the present times?
The first I learned from in the learning stage is a guinea pig. I just built a few semi-detached landed property to learn the how to run a property line. Beside housing, beside the how to sell property, you also need to know how to go for construction knowledge like the submission, deal with authority, a lot of rule and regulation you need to comply, and not only like contractor, you just follow the plan and build. You must understand the market requirement.
Yes.
What kind of the shortage of products in the market, even a lot of property in the market, but what kind of property products shortage in the market, you will anchor to that.
As a developer, is it raising money for financing the project and acquiring a land bank? Are these two the biggest concern for you as a developer?
Yeah, of course, land bank is very important for the developer. But you must depend the condition and situation. We cannot, in business, we cannot stick a standard ruler to measure everywhere and anytime. Of course, in a good time, you can say land bank very important. How to get this bank financing, you can easy to push. So you can say you can using a 5th gear, 7th gear to run your business. But you must bear in mind the earth is round. So a lot of things have up and down. So you must always be ready when downturn side. So you can go faster, but must be in a safe way. You can't go high gearing without any concern. So right now, market is going to downturn. You can't say land bank is very important. Now it's an opposite side. It's liquidity is more important. So you must know how to play the balancing during a different situation or a different time. No standard formula.
Correct. Yeah. I think that there are a lot of established developers in town who has been disposing their land assets because that the gearing has become very high, and it's no longer feasible for them to hold on to this land bank, even though most developers will want to keep land for future use. And I agree with you, Dato, that liquidity is important now.
Because I feel in life, in human, you must 4 category of people. The first category of people is can't see problem. That is a factory worker and security guard. They can't see a problem. Okay. The second group of people is you can see the problem, but you don't know how to solve problem, which is officer level or junior officer level. Okay. The third group of people is you can see problem and you can solve problem, which is a manager level. Okay. And the fourth group of people, you can see the future problem and how to avoid problem. That is called entrepreneur.
And right now, to be an entrepreneur are the ones who cannot sleep every night. And while the workers don't have to worry.
Actually, as an entrepreneur, good time and bad time also cannot sleep.
Especially those who have to deal with fluctuation of foreign currency that you have to use and buy in US dollar, and our ringgit depreciates so much. Every night at 9 o'clock when everybody's asleep, US market just open and we look at the fluctuation and the impact to our ringgit is very sad.
Yes. Sejarah dalam hari ini, the ringgit only drop, don't know how to up.
So sometimes as a normal worker, you don't have to worry too much about all this problem. Boss problem, not my problem. I just want my pay rise and make sure no pay cut.
Even foreign worker also using USD to calculate their own wallet.
Correct.
So in future, the inflation is much more higher.
Correct.
Due to this currency issue.
Dato, back to land bank. I noticed that in your company, you have always looked at living in the city, the benefits of buying a city property in contrast to buying a suburban property or somewhere that's far away from the city. What is your philosophy behind this buy and live in the city?
Oh, very simple. Because I believe surviving and lifestyle. Lifestyle for me, one word only, is a time factor. Whatever you're saving the time, that is your lifestyle. You can save your time from the transportation. Maybe you can save an hour for your transport from your home and working place. An hour you spend for your career, for your work, I believe your career will become better. If the hour you spend for your family, I believe your family will become more warming. If your hour to spend for your couple, I believe your love story more wonderful.
I can see that in your property is walking distance to the restaurant, walking distance to the MRT, walking distance to the cinema, walking to the hospital. It's almost walking distance. So it's actually saving a lot of time.
Yeah. Besides also healthy for them by walking, and it also can be exercise. But the exercise only can have a limitation for 2 to 3 minutes only.
Dato,
Yeah.
since that you advocate city living, and your projects, of course, are located very near to all these amenities and transportation, I've noticed that you have also targeted Hong Kong buyers. Hong Kong buyers, of course, are very used to this kind of living. They demand everything to be near them. You have been in this COVID-19 situation. You have been doing a lot of these webinar. I noticed that your Cantonese is fantastic lah. Okay, I'm from Penang, but my Hokkien is terrible. Okay, this is really a banana. Okay, your Cantonese is superb, and that you have engaged with them directly through webinar. Why are you targeting Hong Kong buyers through your famous Levin KL project, especially the launch of Cheers, the last hour of Levin? Why are you targeting Hong Kong buyers, and what appeals to them the most as far as Malaysia is concerned?
At first, my Cantonese is because by force, by need to survive, I'm forced to learn. Okay, and why I go to Hong Kong is because I feel Hong Kong, majority Hong Kongers is well and matured knowledge in property, and their property is one of the expensive in the world and the top in the world. So I would challenge myself to take my property and promote in Hong Kong. If Hong Kong people can accept and welcome of my project, my property, which means my property is how to say is nothing wrong. I can say one of the not a failure project anymore.
Meet the standards of the people of Hong Kong.
Yes. You see, a lot of people thought Malaysia property compare Hong Kong property price, we are very cheap. So that's why you're easy to sell. Actually, you using this kind of mentality to think it actually is very wrong. Actually, we are not talking how cheap you are. We are mirror image. We are talking Myanmar. Myanmar property is cheaper than Malaysia. I think it's a far away. Different. The pricing is far away different. But why a lot of Malaysian won't go to Myanmar, Yangon to invest property? So it actually is a similar this mirror image. At first, you need not to promote how good my my company first. The important is how good of this country first. This is one of the very challenging because sorry to say, a lot of youngster on this social media talk back about our own country. You can say you don't like certain politician, which is you don't like, but they are present as a politician. They are not present the country. So you must how to differentiate between the politician and the country or the government. So it's a different party. So though which first world country or first world city, their people won't talk back their own country.
Yes.
At first, this is the first place. Okay. So we can using why come to Malaysia first? Because Malaysia a lot of business opportunity. And Hong Kong, a lot of business have been monopolized. Okay, so you must get them what kind of healthy mindset of the looking back to Malaysia, and in future a lot of things is go for the AI. Artificial intelligence, and I remember the Stephen Hawking, those study for galaxy black hole.
Rahul.
have mentioned a human cannot too rely of the AI. When the human too rely of the AI, they will lack of the analysts. They don't know how to differentiate a lot of things. They don't know how to differentiate whether it's right or wrong, or good or bad, what kind of advantage and disadvantage. So that's why we need to build ourselves to gain some more general knowledge. As a Malaysian, need to gain more general knowledge first. Question for the Honky, we promote this to the Hong Kongers about Malaysia. We will try that to say Malaysia is too many talents and too many professional. Okay, and if you want to start out a business in terms of natural resources and human resources, is easy and cheap. Yeah, just a starting point is a good start for them.
Your target obviously would not be the young people from Hong Kong, those wanting to start their life as a career person. Obviously, they won't come to Malaysia to look for a job. Would it be correct to say that you're looking at those who are in their matured stage, where they are pretty comfortable, and they're looking for a place where they can enjoy their life in another place, because Hong Kong is such a pressure cooker? A lot of people confuse between the cost of living and the standard of living. You can be earning 100,000 Hong Kong money, which is around 50,000 here, but really by the time you finish spending, a bowl of wanton mee would be around 20 ringgit Malaysia. But you come over here, the cost of living is very low, but the standard of living is very high. Okay, I mean that if I'm somebody from Hong Kong, I would really want to buy one of your property in Levine, where life is so beautiful, and that or somewhere in Penang, I'm looking at the sea at a fraction of the cost that you can live in Hong Kong. Does that kind of lifestyle appeal to people from Hong Kong at the mature age, 50 years old, 40 years old?
Yeah, I fully agree with you, Dr. Sri. Is lifestyle and cost of living is totally different things.
Yeah.
So cost of living and lifestyle. Hong Kong have a very high cost of living, but they don't have a good lifestyle.
Okay.
Because they are whatever they are earned, they need at least spend 70% of their earning for their accommodation. So Malaysia is totally different. Malaysia, you no need to spend so much. It's opposite way. You just spend about 30% of your income for your accommodation.
Yeah.
From medium low income, Hong Kong medium low income come to Malaysia, you easily become a medium group. From
so upgrade themselves immediately.
Yes. Upgrade themselves.
Yeah.
So they have many things can be done in KL here. Okay, especially we are talking one of the easy accept example like wanton mee. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of Malaysian thought wanton mee is very easy to let Hong Kongers to accept. But you must bear in mind the wanton mee, Malaysian wanton mee and Hong Kong wanton mee have a different.
Yes.
Okay, you must try to get a taste for Hong Kong wanton mee. It's not Malaysia wanton mee, because Malaysia wanton mee a lot of mixed with the chili or mixed with this black sauce, black soya sauce. It's different taste.
Yeah.
So that's why my property must have a pure Hong Kong wanton mee taste. So you must have your different Hong Kong design, Hong Kong lifestyle, what kind of their concern. Like example, all convenience store by the walking distance, by safe. You not only sell by their only the design for the pricings wise, you also need to design for the lifestyle also. And third is how to make sure they don't have further concern for your property.
I see. Doctor, what's the first question that they ask you, these prospective buyers from Hong Kong? What's the first question?
Oh, their question is asked, how the tax in Malaysia, any gain tax or whatever taxes because this Hong Kong, the cukai pintu, cukai tanah, all these quick rent assessment is very high. But Malaysia is not very different. So Cantonese say, "有咩税啊?" So I ask them, "十税."
Dato', do they buy a property to actually stay in for holiday, or they're expecting a rental yield?
My one is more than half is buy for stay. Buy for stay, because why stay is because whatever I build, or my wonton mee is cook a Hong Kong taste wonton mee. So they rather than stay more than so-called rent or others to invest. Yeah. So of course, if they come to invest, our property also is one of the good choice or best choice in this Klang Valley.
Your property is in KL. It's mostly in predominantly Cantonese speaking area, so they can actually fit in immediately and like home.
And one thing Hong Kongers is very concerned is which is their title, the land title.
Okay.
Because the land title you can't be replaced. Like just now I mentioned how my servitude, my servitude is doing something which people cannot be replaced. Which is your land title. My land title is a first zone city. It's a city center title with freehold. So when Hong Kongers understand my title, they don't have a second doubt already.
Is there such a thing as freehold in Hong Kong?
Yes, but very limited. Very limited. But you want to get a freehold and first zone city like Hong Kong Central is damn much expensive.
Do most of these Hong Kong buyers, do they self-finance the purchase, or they take a bank loan?
Some of them take bank loan. Some of them is by cash. Very subjective.
I see. I'm curious. I've been looking at your launch of Cheers, the last tower of Levine KL. This is a mixed development comprising 4 towers, gross development value of 1.8 billion in Taman Melori Cheras. So Dato', I'm helping to sell your house here. I'm sending you.
Thank you.
But I'm curious, Dato', why is it that you're not selling your 24 studio suites? I thought that most people will sell off everything, including their showroom. But you are saying that studio suites not for sale. Why?
Yeah, because I very strong to believe my buyer must have a good lifestyle. Okay. I notice nowadays a lot of so-called young couple, they don't like stay with their parents or in-law. Okay, maybe the in-law come over and visit. You also embarrass, ask them stay in hotel and far away. So you can rent my studio, okay, by daily, weekly, or monthly. So also one part of the convenient, and also how to say to prove the wife that you also love the in-law.
And then since they stay in a suite, they can be sure they can't stay for a long time.
This is very subjective. You can't pay for the rent, you can stay more long time, no problem.
Dato', so if anyone stays at your condo, there's a possibility that they may have RealChunWai as a neighbor, right?
Yeah. Not RealChunWai. We have a lot of Hong Kong film star or famous people. Also my purchaser, our purchaser.
Okay. So are these movie stars staying, or they are using it for holidays or renting out?
When I ask them, they go for the holiday stay.
Okay.
Yeah, holiday stay. Yeah. If you're lucky in the lift, you can meet up the Hong Kong star.
You know that Dato', I followed your webinar chat with the Hong Kong people. I find interesting that many of you keep on talking about durians. Is durian that a big thing for these Hong Kong people?
Yeah, nowadays more and more China and Hong Kong people can accept the taste of the durian. Okay, they also feel that durian, beside the taste, is also how to say, um, it's good for the health,
Okay.
but not too sweet lah. But not too sweet lah. Is because durian can help you the blood circulation. Is hotness.
Okay. I heard for some of my Malay friends, they say it's a very good aphrodisiac.
That's I didn't ask. They also embarrassed to tell me.
Dato', okay, since there are a lot of foreign buyers, do they also look for Malaysia my second home as part of the deal?
Okay, at first, my condo, my project, I have my own policy. We only allow about 30% of foreign buyer. We set our own. The reason is we need more Malaysian to stay to prove to our Hong Kong buyer if local not welcome for this property, in future you will very hard to sell and rent.
Okay.
That's why we to prove and make a policy. We are only 30% of our purchaser is a foreign buyer.
I see. Okay.
And what is your next question? You say there's a question. The last question is.
No, are these what do you call it? That are they easy for? Do they record? Do they ask for Malaysia my second home as part of the package?
Oh, yeah. Of course, right now we feel I don't know why the government have KIV for the second home. So I feel this is one of the wasted for the country to let out one of the revenue for this second home.
Yeah.
So I believe in future the government will be open back for the second home.
I agree with you.
They are not to say cancer, they just KIV for how to say shift department. So temporary KIV for shipping department. So I hope the government as soon as possible to open back the second home. Yeah.
Previously, it was under the tourism and culture minister, and now it has gone completely to the home ministry. I really hope that they will review this system and come back as soon as possible, because that property market is one of the biggest multiplier effect for the country. It contributes billions and billions of ringgit, and it is a low-lying fruit. I think that there is a misconception, perhaps among government officers. They think that the people from Hong Kong or China, when they come and buy houses in Malaysia, they automatically want a citizenship. That's far from the truth. They just merely want a sort of like a document which allow them to stay a little while as a second home, but not as a citizen, because in my interaction with many people from Hong Kong and China, their preference, if they really want a citizenship, is always America, Australia, UK, or New Zealand, but not Malaysia. For them, it's just a place for them. It's just a place for them on holiday.
For the advanced city, or advanced country, how to prove they are advanced city or advanced country, which is the whole world. A lot of people like to migrate to their country, to their city, which is their city or their country can be said is branded and advanced. That's why we are talking about in Malaysia. Malaysia, like you say just now, like Canada, US, we are talking for UK and Australia, even Singapore. They are one of the world best countries. So a lot of people like to migrate or become a PR, whatever. So Malaysia come to this second home concept, which is I feel is very good. And this second home won't be affected any politics agenda, and because they are not a voter at all, and they are not come here and how to say to expand whatever their their own region or politics issue. They just come here to stay and enjoy life and spend money here.
Yeah.
So this is one of the way to get the country generate more income revenue, and also can, if this program successfully also help to sustain our currency also, or appreciate our currency also.
It is actually a low lying fruit for our economy, and that it will be wasted if we do not expedite this program again, because we have always got to think of our competitor in Singapore and even in Thailand. Thailand has actually make it easy for people to buy property down there, especially for foreigners. The world has basically changed. I mean, irrespective of where you stay, whether in London or US, it's just an address. Because I mean, before COVID-19, I mean, traveling has become so easy. People just use it as an address, but people move and stay in different cities around the world now. Okay, so for example, a lot of Malaysians have a lot of property in UK, but that doesn't mean that they actually stay there. For them, they only go there when necessary. So it's no different from people from Hong Kong or China buying property in Malaysia. That is something I think the government needs to really think and see it in that way.
Even UK right now, they really have a program like BNO to special welcome for their Hong Kongers to become a PR in UK. Even UK also open market for Asian. So that's why I think it's one of a good preference for Malaysia government.
I mean, I hate to say this, but I'm going to be very blunt. It seems to be it's easier for a foreign worker from Bangladeshi or for Myanmar or for Nepal to come here to Malaysia than somebody who's going to spend 1 million, 2 million to buy a home and get Malaysia my second home. It seems to be so much difficult. I don't understand why. Okay.
And this foreign worker come over and take our currency back to their country. Then we attract all these healthy and good people come over, bring money here and spend, and every Malaysian have a benefit. Even you sell keropok also make good business, because your number of people makan keropok also increase.
Correct. Yeah. Talking about COVID-19, because you were just on the issue of now that you cannot travel. Okay, has COVID-19 affect your company as well as you personally? Because you have to travel to Hong Kong, you have to travel to UK a lot to look at your projects. Share with us, how has COVID-19 been like since March?
I can say it's affected every industry. Beside the rubber glove, mask or healthcare is not affected. I think the rest of the business is affected. So definitely property business also affected. And like me also can't go to my Hong Kong office and my UK office to manage my business. Even my this UK golf club also pandemic. So not much business can be made. Not much money can be made, and luckily is the UK government have subsidy 80% of the my UK staff. So it's one of the advantage to us. And in Hong Kong side, the Hong Kong government also have helped us to contribute certain amount to our staff. But this is quite a tough time but we can't do much. It's only can be patient to waiting for the vaccine. So I believe the vaccine will be out the first quarter of next year. I hope so. If not, not only Malaysia, I think many countries also have deeply affected. So when this vaccine out in the market, even the vaccine, I don't know whether can be recognized by World Health Organization or not. But that is become a norm or none of the social. If you like, how to say, play roller coaster, the ticket is always say to your own risk. So this vaccine, you depends how you look at it by prevention.
I'm less optimistic that I don't see a vaccine coming out by next year, not even by the first quarter or even by the
Oh,
end of the year. Yeah, I can see a long haul coming up. That we all of us who are in business would have to relook at our projection, our targets, and to mitigate our operating costs all over again.
yes,
I mean that.
yes.
I mean that. Donald Trump says that he will get us the vaccine before the election. Now election is over, that he has lost the election and there's still no
This is
vaccine.
over.
So speaking of US presidential elections, were you following closely the elections and did you expect the results to be like this?
Yeah, for me, I expected, okay. I'm not very follow closely because I believe a fundamental. So I'm happy to say American mindset is much more matured because American, no matter how to say the advantage in front of you, they also fear to dare to say no because of they don't want strong racist. Okay, they want globalization. Because of this, this result come out, Biden win, and I believe Biden will be closely cooperate with mainland China, because in this world, the big two elephant, which is U.S. and China right now, if these two big elephant can work together, then I believe the whole world have a better result and better benefit. And this is much more healthy world, healthy exercise. And bear in mind, Malaysia is just a small country.
Yes.
We can't fight with a big scenario or big country policy. We just a good follower. We have become a follower, which from this policy, what we can gain is a little bit of the advantage.
Yeah.
We need to follow this environment and find out a good policy to us.
It is also a chance for China to relook and to review its relationship with US. I think that if China is obviously so far ahead, and of course Europe, America see China as a threat. When people see you as a threat, it's obviously very difficult. I think China needs to take a less combative style, less aggressive, and take a step back and to give this America and the new president an assurance that, look, we are not out to really compete with you and knock you off, but it's really necessary, as Dato said, for America and China to work together for a stronger economy. At the end of the day, I think people look for is the economy. Now comes to the question of economy as we enter the last part of this interview, Dato. The budget. Of course, the budget for this round, we're talking about the Malaysian budget. The budget, of course, addresses the issue of frontliners, money for medicine, money to fight COVID-19. But it's also very scary because the numbers are so big. And you as a businessman and me as a journalist look at this budget and says, okay, we're going to spend so much money. We're going to spend something like 322.5 billion. So my question is, where are we going to find the money? We know that money from Petronas is no longer that strong to contribute to the government. Commodities has dropped. So the question is, how are we going to find the money to pay for all this huge bill besides borrowing?
Very good question, Dr. Sri, and very practical question. And I'm not have a big surprise or not have a big hope for this budget because the resources have limitation.
Yeah.
And the case is very serious. That's why the budget is to help the rakyat.
Yes.
And just a part of the policy. Okay. The fundamental still pending of their rakyat, the productivity is much more important. Right now a lot of youngster is talking work-life balance. So and the saving have right now our time and not right now the youngster, the saving power is dropped.
Yeah.
Because they are believe work-life balance.
Mm-hmm.
So bear in mind, just how I've mentioned, the earth is round, everything can be coming back and up and down. So of course, not a lot of people expected have COVID-19.
Yes.
But a lot of economists resent the economies come to downside. Yeah. And of course, previous US government still continues to QE and printing money. That's why right now you can see the share market is very active. Mm-hmm. Okay, all the nothing much business you can do. Yeah. A lot of people invest in the share market. You can share market in the hot season right now, mm-hmm. And some of the company also don't have the fundamental, but I don't know why the share is shooting up because of all this liquidity. Nowhere go, and how to say the interest is down. So don't know where the liquidity flow for. Mm-hmm. Okay, we are talking for back is still back to this fundamental. We as a rakyat, we must think how to enhance the productivity, mm-hmm. and more competitiveness, then to comply with the government policy. So, and your second question, how to make country more money, more income, mm-hmm. for in terms of we short of this called even our resources called limitation, and all the commodity price is dropped. Mm-hmm. So we can follow my personal suggestion is we can follow the advanced country, mm-hmm. which is more open for the PR, because PR is against any political issue. Yes. They are not a voter at all. Yep. Okay, we just say we get 2 million ringgit to get one PR. Mm-hmm. Okay, and we are talking for 10,000 numbers of PR, yeah. by patch to patch. It's not a big it's not a big sum. Only 10,000. You can easily country reserve have easily 20 billion ringgit easily. So this can help the country generate some income to overcome this COVID-19. It's a much easier side to just one policy only. Just you come up with one policy, you can help the whole country to solve a lot of so-called shortage.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dato', that we need to relook at some of these areas where it is easy to get this liquidity from outside to come in, because a lot of money has flown out of the country, and we need this easy currency to come in, this low-lying fruit, whether it's in the form of PR, whether it's easier for people to come in to study in our Malaysian institutions. So these are, but we really need the government officers to understand that the way of doing things cannot be the same anymore, because we are in a crisis, in a situation where we are facing a crisis. The economy has been affected, and we know that finding revenue is so hard. You really need to relook at the old ways of doing this. It's all gone. It's gone. We need to find ways. You know, when I look at the projection, we're now doing around 4% GDP, and then the government is saying that, oh, we're going to have 6.5 to 7.5 projection next year. I'm really unsure. I hope it's true. Yeah, I want it to be true. I really hope it's true. Better still 8%. But really, as someone from the corporate background, and we know how hard it is to get even 1%. Okay, so I really do not know where are the details. I mean, our debt is going to be at least 1 over trillion from now. Yes, I mean, if you talk about US, they also have a financial situation, but of course, as you say, that they can afford to print money and sell it. If we print money, our inflation will heat up. Okay, so we really need to look at making it easier for investors, making easier for businessmen like us. Okay, I mean that when you look at trying to start a housing development, I mean, you go through so many agencies and so many rounds, okay, of bureaucracy.
Yeah, true. That's why I hope Malaysian right now is need more unity. Don't come back to talk about don't politicize all the topics and don't do religion-size all the topics. And right now, because of this COVID, we hope all Malaysians can unite together and with one objective to how to overcome this crisis. This is very serious crisis, and to overcome it, and must be positive thinking. More promote our own country to the overseas. Tell other people how good our country. Then our country got hope.
Yes, agree. I think that one of our greatest failure is that we spend so much time on social media shooting ourselves in the foot. We spend too much time saying bad things about the country. When if you're critical, be okay, but suggest something, be constructive. And that I think that for young people who are following this, I think that one of the reasons why I've started this Facebook program was actually to encourage entrepreneurship, create jobs instead of finding jobs, and finding revenue, finding work for people, and how to create wealth. I think that that's the most important things for a personal level and for the country creating wealth. Now, Dato', before I let you go, I've held you on for 1 hour already. Okay, we are definitely
one of the hour, I don't know.
Dato', you are definitely the most impeccable, best dressed developer in town with your bow tie.
Oh, thank you.
Why did you choose to wear bow tie and always look? Do you sleep with your bow tie on?
Oh no, I wear this. Wear smarter is to attract my wife. Let my wife more time to watch me. Watch my program.
Okay, Dato', one final question. Very important final question, because that you are the hottest property in town. Okay, now what is your advice? What is your advice to people that who wants to be another MD of Orando Holdings? I want to be a big boss and wear bow tie to work like you.
At first, is healthy mindset first. Healthy mindset first. Yeah, at first, I feel is you must, before you start your business, you must understand society or human first. Actually, when I go travel, first place to go for me is a bookstore. I went their bookstore. I went Japan, I see their bookstore. I went German, US, China, Europe country, Australia. I went their bookstore first, because bookstore can feel their people, their lifestyle, their thinking. You know what book they are selling more famous. What kind of people go visit in bookstore. So you can see when bookstore more business, you can see their country more competitive. You can see those city, the people walk faster and they like to read book. You can see their country is very competitive. You can, those country, their public toilet is very clean. You can notice they are very civilized. You see? So for me, when you understand human, a group of human is social, you must understand social. Then you understand market. When you understand market, you understand economies, you understand your own wallet. So bear in mind, healthy mindset is very important. Because I foresee nowadays, a lot of youngsters short of analyze. Like you see nowadays, a lot of youngsters is not by your own eyes to see, your ear to hear only, but don't know true or not. That's why you see the newspaper. Last time, the driver is very good knowledge, because the driver waiting the boss is read newspaper. Right now, the driver is watch Facebook, social media. A lot of things is more in entertainment. Then a lot of things by here is not what you see. So the lack of analysis. That's why too much AI also make human have a mental problem. So healthy mindset is much more important. Like nowadays, old timers say, English say, keep in touch, keep in touch. But nowadays is using handphone touch. That is called keep in touch. This is a social problem.
Yeah. Dato', you have
The
always,
lifestyle has changed.
Dato', you have always maintained standards. I mean, speaking to you even through your last question, you consistently talking of maintaining quality and standards. And there's one question I actually forgot, so I need to ask this: that you have always said that must be of Swiss watch standard for all your products. Why this Swiss watch standard?
Oh, okay, very simple. The watch is start from during late 17 to 18, even now 2020. Okay, about 200 over years back, human already know what is watches. But why Swiss watch until today so welcome and so expensive? Even you wear Swiss watch, only 12 dot with 2 arrow. When you wear million of a Swiss watch, won't make you more than 1 second a day. You still 24 hours per day. Why people like to spend so much money to buy watch? Those people know how to make money and never been stupid. So I'm studying because of 3 reasons. Okay, the first is their status. When you wear the Swiss watch, you will feel self-confident and the status. And second is their quality, their workmanship, their quality. Some using a diamond, rose gold, yellow gold, white gold. And the third is the appreciate value. When you wear this kind of watch, when you invest this kind of watch, when you enjoy this kind of watch, the value will be appreciated. So I comply these 3 elements in my products, in my property. My design, when the purchasers staying, when the lobby, everything, they will feel have a status. My design is like you stay in hotel. The status, your visitor come, your relative come, you will feel you have a class. And then the second issue is their quality, because all my building material is using an American and European brand, even the tiles, leaf, sauna, and whatever. And of course, with my 2 compliance and the location and those my title which cannot be replaced, Virgin City with freehold, everything is appreciate the value. So that's why I using this Swiss watch spirit apply to my property.
Thank you, Dato'. I can remember 3 words as you were talking. 3 words appear in my mind: quality, standards, and I appreciate, man. Okay, thank you, Dato'. Thank you so much for spending time with us. We hope to
no choice.
we hope to catch up and do another round of chit-chatting. It has really been very enriching, enriching, and educational, and definitely very analytical. So thank you, Dato'.
Thank you, Dato' Sri, give me a chance.
Okay.
Give me this platform.
Yes, thank you. Good night to everyone. Please remember to like, follow, and share RealChunWai. Thank you.
Thank you, Dato' Sri.